The moment that breaks you is rarely loud. Sometimes it arrives quietly, with a list of results, with a whisper behind your back, with a single word you never expected to see next to your name: failed. In a world that celebrates winners, this is a story about what happens after the silence, about a boy who didn't lose his intelligence, only his direction, and about how focus, when everything else is falling apart, can become a shield no one can touch. There was a village resting between open fields and slow mornings. Life there moved at the pace of the sun. Honest work, familiar faces, long memories. In that village lived a boy named Raghav. People spoke his name with expectation. He was sharp, responsible, someone others quietly predicted great things for. But potential doesn't erase struggle. Raghav lived with his mother in a small home that held more responsibility than comfort. Each morning, before the light settled fully on the land, he stepped into the fields. His hands learnt the weight of tools before they learnt the weight of books. By the time sweat traced lines down his back, the day had only begun. Only then did he return home, wash his face, and sit with his studies while time watched him closely. He didn't complain, he adjusted. He didn't dream loudly, he worked quietly. The village noticed. People believed he would succeed, and belief can feel like a promise until it becomes pressure. When exam season arrived, Raghav did what he always did. He worked when the sun was up, he studied when the village slept. Under a small lamp, he fought exhaustion sentence by sentence. There were moments when his eyes closed without permission, moments when doubt whispered, but he kept going. Then the results came. One subject, one mark, one failure. It didn't make sense. It didn't feel real. But numbers don't explain themselves. They simply exist. What hurt more than the paper was what followed. The village didn't celebrate his effort, they remembered his fall. Each step to the fields became heavier. Words followed him. Smiles carried edges. His name changed meaning. Smart boy, right? Hard work didn't save him. So much confidence for nothing. He never replied. Silence became his armor. But armor doesn't stop everything. Some words pass through. They settle. They echo. One evening, after the land released him and the sky dimmed, Raghav walked to his teacher's house. Teacher Karim had seen many seasons. His voice didn't rush. His eyes didn't judge. Raghav stood there longer than needed before speaking. "I can't walk that road anymore," he said. "Their voices come with me." The teacher listened. Then he gave no comfort, only a task. "Tomorrow," he said, "take a large pot, fill it with milk, walk the same path, and not one drop must fall." No explanation, no lesson, just a rule. Raghav didn't understand, but respect doesn't require understanding. At dawn, while the village woke slowly, he filled the pot until the surface trembled. The weight surprised him. Milk doesn't forgive carelessness. He stepped outside, each movement measured, each breath controlled. The road waited. The villagers noticed him instantly. Curiosity replaced mockery. Some whispered, some watched closely, expecting the familiar stumble. But Raghav didn't look at them. His eyes stayed on the surface of the milk. The slightest shake could undo everything. Step, pause, adjust. Step, steady, continue. The voices didn't disappear. They simply lost power. His mind had no room for them. Every thought served one purpose: keep the milk still. The path ended, not a drop spilled. When he returned to his teacher, the old man asked one question: "Did you hear them today?" Raghav paused. Then he realized something unsettling. "No," he said, "I didn't." The teacher nodded. That is focus. When your attention is full, the world loses its noise. Raghav didn't pass his exam that day. His problems didn't vanish. The village didn't apologize. But something shifted. He began studying the same way he carried the pot, one subject at a time, one task, one moment. Distractions waited outside his attention. Days turned into effort. effort into improvement, improvement into quiet confidence. And the same people who once laughed began to watch again, this time unsure. Because when a person learns where to place their focus, they become unreachable. But what happened when the world tested that focus again? When failure returned with a heavier weight?